Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to this Something to Think About broadcast. I am your host, Ace Randall. I'm just coming on with a little bit of an inspirational thought. I know you guys are so used to the Legacy Builder series, and Something to Think About was actually something that I birthed pre Legacy Builder series. And no worries, Legacy Builder series is coming back January 4th. So I'll just go ahead and pop that up on the screen for you really quick. Season 2 will be returning January 4th, and it's going to be back on its regular scheduled program, which is going to be on every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to run throughout the month of January through the end of March. And so excited about that. We're getting prepared for that. But we have to we're taking a 3-month hiatus from the show so that we can prepare, rest up, get new visions, get new ideas, all of that great stuff. At any rate, tonight I'm coming on because I have a particular topic that I want to talk about. Now, I'm going to put out my disclaimers right now. It's going to be some things that I'm going to talk about that's going to involve a particular actress, comedian, and please hear me clearly. I am not in any way coming negative or bashing or criticizing this individual. So, and the focus of this topic is not about them, but it is something that's very key to my focus that I want to share. And so, with that being said, let me go ahead and bring up what I'm going to be talking about tonight, which is entitled Change It Up. Simple as that. Change it up. So I do apologize, you guys. Until I come back to the series or what have you, I'm going to be just doing audio lives, not a lot of video lives. So don't get bored because you don't see my lovely face. But I just want you to kind of, still listen in, just make it like a fireside chat and just listen and absorb in some things that I'm sharing with you. And so, but again, thank you guys for coming in. Please share with your followers, share on all of your platforms. I think this is going to be something that's really going to be great. That's going to inspire you. Again, my disclaimers out there. I'm going to be talking about a particular, using a part of the discussion that involves an actor, comedian, a phenomenal person. However, I don't want it to seem that I'm bashing this individual. I'm making a point. And with that being said, let me kind of go into the history of how this discussion started. I so happen to be watching a video, and as you guys know that follow me know that I get a lot of revelation through God speaks to me through things and through not only by the way of the Spirit, but He also speaks to me through things around me, through movies, television, music, whatever. And I get revelation through things. And so this particular day, I was watching this show that was on YouTube, that was on the Fox Soul Network. And this particular host was interviewing the comedian actress Monique and her husband. And of course, many of you all that know what's going on with Monique right now know that she has been blacklisted and blackballed throughout the industry because of her issues with Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah, and the list goes on, and Netflix. And so on the show, she was kind of, talking about the same thing that she's been talking about for the number of years, ever since the movie Precious and what took place. And so let me kind of fast track along or what have you. So she's on the show and she's pretty much sharing a lot of the same story and given a platform to bring awareness to what goes on in the industry and things of that sort. And so I decided that I wanted to comment on the the feed from YouTube from this show because whether a lot of people believe it or not, Monique is a phenomenal comedian. She is a amazing actress. You cannot knock her for her work and what she's done. Proof is in the pudding, regardless of whatever people say about her attitude or whatever. When it comes down to putting it down in the industry, she does what she does, and you can't. And that's undeniable. And so let's not misconstrue that or what have you. And so a lot of the focus and things that she's been really talking about anytime that she's given a platform is focused on this particular narrative. And so I commented, and so let me make this clear. My comment was very positive, was very uplifting, very encouraging. So let me go ahead and share what I said. I said first, I would like to share that I love Monique as a comedian and her and as an actress, and I 100% believe in her wrong treatment in the industry. However, it comes to a point in your activism when you have to elevate to another place. What do I mean by this? Well, Monique for many years has been talking about this same conversation over and over and over. Yet the people in the industry she's going after is still making millions and billions, and most of them have hardly responded. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that she has what she has done is ineffective. Because it does I'm sorry, just lost my line here. Because it does indicate that people indicate what people are dealing with in the industry, and how they're not being treated fairly, and people are not getting what they're justly deserves. But here is the problem. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result, which a lot of you guys have heard me say this on my show. So, at any rate, and back to the to what I typed. And I said, I'm not in any way calling Monique insane. However, I am saying the momentum is dying, and you're saying that the things saying the things over and over again, and it's yielding little results. Then when you're doing things over and over again and it's yielding you little results, then it's time to change up your strategy. Keywords on the screen: change it up. I believe that if Monique changed her focus on bringing down Tyler Perry, Oprah, Lee Daniels, which are all Black moguls, mind you, along with Netflix, and about building something to change the industry, and to focus your attention on that. How about doing seminars and showing people how to go after what their worth and value is? How about building a production company and getting people behind you that will work with you to give people equal pay? Or what they deserve. Changing the narrative. Yes, I know you're saying that you're not looking. Yes, I know that you're looking out for the next generation, but in looking out for the next generation, you're telling them you still have to go back to the same gatekeepers that force you out of the industry. How about create a gate for them to walk in. Create an industry that people won't have to deal with the wrong treatment. For an example, if I live in a small town and there's only one grocery store within 100 miles, and you're telling everyone don't stop eating there because their food is contaminated, yet that's the only source to eat. How do you expect people expect people to survive? Instead, you being the one that made the awareness of that this food is contaminated, you build another grocery store and and provide better service and product, and give them the option to choose. Now you go from being a protester and an activist to actually becoming a solution to the problem. Again, Monique, I love you. I believe that you have a great gift of healing through laughter. This is your ministry, along with building people up and telling them the truth and loving on them. This is your ministry to the world. And ministry, for those that are religious, I'm talking about, this is her gift and what it is. And we're not going to get into the logistics of the term ministry. At any rate, let me continue reading because I'm almost done. My prayer for you is that God will give you a strategy that will shift the industry, not just with words and talking down upon ones that are still making it bigger and bigger in the world, but about creating your own. Love you, Mo, and I agree with your mission. Just not so much the method. So for those of you all that just came on, I'm reading a post that I added to a conversation that was on a broadcast on the Fox Soul show that a comedian actress Monique and her husband was on, still talking about the narrative of what took place between her, Oprah, Whoopi, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Netflix, and some others. And so when I commented or what have you, I was getting a lot of great feedback, but then a lot of other people were coming back saying something, one or two other people will come back saying something negative to say, well, all this is just great words. How about you support our films? How about you do this? How about you do that? But I'm still saying that that's not changing the issue. And so with all that being said, and I'm using this as a point of discussion tonight about change it up. And I know you all heard me talk about the definition of insanity. And I want to use this conversation that I posted, or this discussion a post that I put up under this video, as an example of someone that has that is trying to really influence people, even though she's talking negative about these other individuals. Her objective is to fight for the fact that you're not going to misuse me as a actress or comedian. You're not going to pay me. You're going to pay me fairly, just like you paid any of these other individuals, and so on and so forth. And I wholeheartedly 10,000% agree. But where I don't agree is that when you constantly are doing the same thing and then it's not yielding results, or you're saying, okay, don't go over there because this is going to hurt you, but you're not creating a lane or a field for somebody to have another option. This is what I'm saying. So in your life, and all of us go through this. We could be doing some things that we're doing it over and over repetitively, that we're hoping that at some point something is going to shift. Something is going to change. And not saying that, this is not about giving up. Or what have you. That's not giving up. Sometimes you have to shift the narrative to, and I'll break this down a little further. What I mean by not giving up is you could be going after something so much and it's not yielding fruit. It's not building momentum. It's not growing. It's not doing anything, right? If anything, it's probably making things worse. However, sometimes you can go about it a different way. accomplishing the same goal, but going around it a different way. Let me give you an example. Let's say you decide that I'm going to open up me a chicken shack. A lot of people love chicken, be like, chicken shacks are doing wonderful or what have you. And but because there's so much competition, you're trying to build it, you're trying to do yours, and you're not getting enough traction. Okay, that's not doing what I need to do. And so you had this business for 5 years, it's not building momentum. Okay, but then you decide that, okay, I'm going to shift my restaurant a little bit and I'm going to change it up, reface it a little bit, and I'm going to focus on, fish or on seafood or what have you. And then eventually you start migrating in later as momentum is building towards what's good for the industry, that's tailored to the industry. Then you start migrating that chicken back in, and then you find out that people actually starting to love your chicken. That they start coming to you for more of your chicken than they do for your seafood, and so it starts building momentum because you had something that drew attention to the customer, and then they start realizing, oh, you had this and you were doing this before. And so now it's building momentum. It didn't mean that you have to change your whole plan. It means you just have to go about it a different way. It just meant that, okay, I was trying to build it this way and it didn't work, but I'm going to go it's not working like I wanted to. So I'm going to come around the other way. Here's the interesting thing about a building. Let's use this as an example because everybody's so interested in going through the front door. Let's go through the front door. I'm trying to get through the front door, right? But every building, including prisons, have doors, a front door, back door, size doors. They have windows. They got chimneys. So there is more than one way to get in. Sometimes you got to come with a bulldozer. You got to come in with a wrecking ball if you got to break through to get in or whatever. There is many ways to get in to a room or into a field or an industry and be effective without thinking that you can only do it one way. And so to go back to the discussion, what I was saying in my post was like, I agree with what you're talking about, but your methods right now is proving to be somewhat ineffective, not totally ineffective, somewhat ineffective because more people are giving and I said at one point I said, some people that give you a platform to just continue to push for your demise. They want to laugh at you and say that you're still a joke instead of you utilizing the platforms that you have or utilizing the gifts and the talents that you have that's going to build something. There is still people that believe in you and what you have, and they will rally behind you when you get into something that is going to be worth rallying behind. You get what I mean? And so, with all that being said, I'm using this as a narrative tonight for those of you that have been trying ways, and and it just seems like it's not working in that particular way, and and you've been fighting an energy to do it. Sometimes you got to change it up. Sometimes you got to switch it up a little bit. Sometimes you got to shift it a little bit. Yeah, of course, when you're dealing with something that you didn't invested so much time and energy into, and it's your baby or what have you, it's like, I gotta it's not working. I'll give you an example. I have a niece, and I'm not gonna say the name because she's I honor their family and I honor their parents, and I would never put their names out there like that. But I have a niece that the world would have deemed slow development because when she became of a certain age, she was not talking normally. And so the Lord said to me that this child is going to talk when she's ready. When she's ready to talk, she's going to talk. And when she starts talking, she is not going to stop. And I kid you not, it was a little delayed, but it wasn't denied. When I tell you, talk so clearly and you can understand and this and whatever, because it was based on, the timing of her. But at the same time, too, traditional methods might not have been working. So it had to come a different way. And so sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you can't do it. Everything ain't always going to be by the book. Everything is not always going to be line upon line, precept upon precept. It's not always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's not going to always be that. You might have to come from Z. You might have to come from 10 and work your way back. Whatever that is going to get the results that you need is what it's about. And so I just want to encourage you that sometimes you can be going after something and it starts diminishing the momentum and its potential or what have you. In that regard, it's okay to change it up a bit. Doesn't mean that you have to give up. Changing it up doesn't mean that you're throwing in the towel or you're putting it on the back burner. You might have to go in another way, or you might have to invest energy into something else that will fund the thing that you're trying to build. You get what I mean? Like I go back to that chicken and that fish or that seafood scenario. You might have to build another brand that is a total different industry than what you're in to help fund the vision that you're trying to build momentum in that's not building momentum. And that's okay. Now that gives you another source of income. That gives you another business. That gives you another establishment that's going to fund and support what it is that you're doing. Or let's say this, you're trying to be an entrepreneur, but you might have to go back to work for a little bit, so that because you don't have the funds to be able to support the vision, to invest in the vision, so you might have to change it up a little bit and go back to work a little bit for a portion of time, or or whatever, or you might not want it to you wanted to have 100% stake in your company, and now you got to change it up a bit, and now you got to get an investor involved. Now you got to give up a percentage rights to your company, and they're coming with ideas that you never thought about. And that's going to help you to advance because they come up with resources and knowledge. But you thought, I'm just going to hold on to this all by myself. It's nothing wrong with changing it up. As long as it's in the direction of progression. As long as it's in the direction of momentum and accomplishing something, it's nothing wrong with changing it up. It's nothing wrong with changing it up. And so I just looked at this scenario to what I shared on this to her, is that I said, look, you have a platform. You have people that follow you. You have a phenomenal ability to make people laugh and or what have you. You have all these talents and abilities. Let's shift this. Okay, let's use this as an example because I made mention of Monique, and and I'm not focused on the Monique, but I want to use these two examples. One of the persons that she's talking about through this is somebody that did the change up, that use that mentality, which is Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is a billionaire. He owns everything that he does. Everything. All his movies, all his scripts, all his TV shows, all his stage plays, music, he owns all of it. Now, what he was trying to do was he was trying to get in the door of Hollywood. He was trying to get in the door of Hollywood. He was trying to bring his TV shows to certain networks and what have you. And they wasn't for it because he kept saying God and Jesus in his shows. And it was like, we want to remain neutral, religious neutral. And he decided not to go that route, to the point now that this man is a billionaire because he decided that, okay, I'm going to go through the door, but I'm not going to go through the door through your gatekeepers. I'm going to create my own door. I'm going to create my own industry. I'm going to create my own production studio. I'm going to create my own television shows, my own, and now I'm partnering with BET Plus, if I'm not mistaken. And now I'm partnering with Netflix, and I'm partnering with Oprah, and I'm doing all these things. I got my TV shows and my movies on all these different platforms, and I own all of it. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you might want to go a certain way. Don't get hung up on that certain way and think that's the it all and be all, that is the only way. Sometimes you got to change it up. Sometimes you got to do something different. Sometimes you got to do something new. Sometimes you got to revamp something that's already been done and do it your way, because somebody might come to you based on what you've done. You get what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with changing it up, as long as it's about progression and not about throwing in a towel and giving up and said, nope, I'm done. I'm over it. No, don't give up on the vision. Don't give up on the purpose. Don't give up on the dream. But sometimes you might have to go a different route about accomplishing what that dream is, or what that objective is, or what that goal is, or what whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And so, again, as I said on this live in the beginning, is not to downgrade or dishonor Monique and what she's doing in her platform. When I said what I said on this YouTube video that I saw, it was to encourage her to go about it a different way. Change the market. This is what's going on in the market. It's not just in the Black industry. It's in every industry. It's not okay. Change it up. You be the change that you're looking for. You build the platform, and no, you might not be the one to benefit from it, but that thing might still stay in existence and build momentum well after you are gone. And you might be not only just bringing awareness for the generations to come, but say, you know what, scrap that. I already got an industry in the field for you to come to. You ain't got to deal with that, because we're going to know how to treat people. We're going to pay them what they're worth. We're going to support them in what they do and rally behind them and stand behind them. And we're going to start taking bit by bit a piece from that industry, a piece from that industry, and a piece from that industry, and bringing it all on this side. Because they will see the value in what you're building. And again, you go from being a protester and an activist to actually being a solution to the problem. So I just wanted to come on and share this really quick. I wasn't coming on very long. I just wanted to come on to encourage you. Sometimes you got to change it up. Sometimes you have to change it up. Sometimes you got to go about it a different route. Sometimes you got to, read some books. Sometimes you got to go back to school or whatever. It's okay. It's okay. You all know that on one of my last lives that I did on my show, I was talking about that it's time to amplify. That has not changed. That has not changed. Amplification still can involve changing it up. And so sometimes it's okay to change it up. Now, if you are building momentum in something, keep going. But there's still going to come a point in time when you're going to have to change it up a bit. That's okay. If you're trying to build more in the industry, if you try to get better marketing or whatever, there's going to come a point in time when you're going to have to change it up. And that's fine. So I want you to be encouraged that change is good. I know we get so comfortable in things being so repetitive and being so the same, and and we get caught into that comfortability because of the consistency, but sometimes change it causes fear, because you don't know what's going to happen. If I move a hair to the left, I might kill what I'm trying to build. No, changing it up might actually help you get to your fullest potential. Changing it up might actually grow your industry. So I just want to encourage you guys that sometimes you got to change it up so that you can get the results that you're looking for, so you can accomplish the goal and accomplish the dream. Thank you guys for listening to my live. If this does get back to the queen herself, Monique, Um, Again, know that I believe in what it is that you're trying to accomplish. I just want to encourage you to go after it a different way. And I believe you're going to be very successful in doing that, because people need somebody that's going to rally behind people, especially for them that believe in their worth and their value. And so if you have the ability to do that, or you can connect to people that can connect to people that can connect to people that can help you accomplish that, you will be so much more effective. But this video was not about reaching out to her. This is about encouraging you all that sometimes you got to change it up. So again, thank you guys for coming on. I'm only doing these type of lives very sporadically. This is not going to be something that's on a schedule. Whenever I have a inspirational thought, I'll come on. I have another one, and I'm going to kind of give you a little sneak peek of the next one. I don't know when I'm going to do it or what have you. I'm just going to do it at random, but I have another one that I'm going to be doing coming up soon, which actually might be a part 2 to change it up and about the discussion. Thank you, God, for giving me the revelation. A part 2 to this is going to be called "The Whole World Is Watching." And I got the inspiration from the theme song that is a part of the trailer for the new film, The Chicago 7. It has absolutely nothing to do with the film. Let's be clear. So just be on the lookout for that one coming up soon. When I heard that sound and heard that charge, it did something to me. So be on the lookout for that one coming soon. I'll probably do it sometime this week, hopefully, or what have you. But it's called "The Whole World Is Watching." And if your wheels are spinning, I hope so, because I'm telling you, it's going to bless your life. At any rate, thank you guys for coming on to this Something to Think About thought. For those that you are watching on the different platforms, thank you for watching. Thank you guys for sharing with your followers. And I hope anyway this inspired you in any way. Just think about something a little bit differently. All right, you guys have a great rest of your night.